If you ever get too close to a skunk, it will spray you with the anal mixture of a noxious sulfuric thiol concoction, the same chemicals in raw onions that make you cry. However, there is one man in the Genshin Impact universe that also produces the same type of anal glands. Kakuya's shitty presence is unrivaled. No one can outmatch him. His unworthy stench is outclassed and can never be topped by any sort of species. Kakuya is the physical embodiment of NTR. He is the ugly bastard that always seems to win. Now normally I would have ignored this fecal character, this semen demon, inseminating his presence all over Genshin, but I think it's about time that someone puts him in his place. Kakuya's stench is inextricably putrid. One swift glance at his cuckold-like hair will tell you everything that you need to know about this character. He's the voyeur of disgusting smelling liquids, the Kami of stench, the Morgan Freeman of fecal diction. I'm fully convinced that Kakuya stores hydroquinone and hydrogen peroxide within every pore of his body. Whenever he sees a well-adjusted man and woman together in a relationship, he immediately starts spraying. He ejaculates this awful, insanely disgusting odor to all the surrounding area that he exists in. It's as if Kakuya's bunghole releases a constant stream of gas, a never-ending, pulsating, throbbing stream of odor. It's like a RYNO from Ratchet and Clank, just obliterating everything in his path. As you can see, when Kakuya does his elemental burst, he summons these icicle dildos around him. Not only are they terrible for the environment, but they also smell like rotten fruit. If there's one thing Kakuya is good at, it's smelling like dimethyl trisulfide. It baffles me how well he's able to smell like decayed onion and cabbage, meat that's been sitting around for 10,000 years. I honestly think that durian probably smells better than Kakuya. I would much rather shove a durian straight up my asshole than exist with Kakuya in the same room for more than 10 seconds. Due to his pungent smell and the vibrant color and size of his jacket, with his flimsy little white scarf that he has on, it is physically impossible for Kakuya to maintain a conversation with anybody. It's almost like Kakuya has green molten algae growing out of his ass. Instead of syphilis or crabs, Kakuya has algal blooms growing out of his gooch area. Sperm whales are known to be distinct stinkers. They're the world's largest carnivore. They say that squids can pierce the whale's intestines with their beaks. In order to protect themselves, the whale will excrete a waxy goo. So maybe Kakuya is being infested by squids. To be honest, I don't know why Kakuya smells so bad. I just wanted to stop. Kakuya's running form is highly inefficient. As you can see, his foot contact on the floor is not placed very well. Kakuya's calf and Achilles tendon are pretty shit. His tricep brachii muscle was pretty dog shit as well. It's like he's swinging with a wet noodle of an arm. You could replace his arm with a dildo and it would do way more damage. Having Kakuya on your team is like having a friend group with a sexual predator in it. Highly inefficient and dangerous. The first known use of the term sexual predator is given to the FBI director J. Edgar Hoover in the 1920s, which was then popularized in the 1990s by Andrew Vox. However, I think the etymology is really missing the point here. Kakuya is the perfect example of a sexual predator. If MiHoYo ever decided to add Chris Hansen into Genshin Impact, they would immediately update Liyue Harbor to add a Liyue Penitentiary and send Kakuya's ass straight there. Here I will explain Kakuya's mental faculties and the deficits that exist within them. Kakuya is not able to process any reception of signals or reassemble those encoded messages from a sequence of received signals. Every conversation that Kakuya has is like a wet fart, a diarrhea of diction completely devoid of any communicative motivation or reason. He also seems to enjoy putting himself in cuckold situations with other couples. He constantly stream snipes and third parties every other couple in Genshin Impact, or anytime a man and woman are just having a conversation. If Kakuya were to show up on Hell's Kitchen, Gordon Ramsay would have an aneurysm. Here we see one of the worst culinary abominations ever created. Supposedly trying to make a vegetarian dish with a rich flavor, Kakuya managed to make a dish so salty, it rivals even the thickest semen on earth. Just read the review that an expert critic left on his food. The overly thick sauce has totally covered the freshness that the ingredients should have had, and the condiment leaves your mouth dry no matter how much you wash it down with water. You might think the review is harsh, but the suspicious vegetarian abalone that Kaeya made is far worse. Kaeya vehemently makes it his mission to third-party and stream snipe every relationship within his sight. Harassment is Kaeya's middle name. If you're a fan of invasion of privacy, look no further. Kaeya is the man for you. A true disciple of complete pestering aggravation. If you currently are in a relationship, I would exercise extreme caution. However, species of primate aren't the only ones that hate Kaeya. Dogs do as well. Yes, even the pure sweet individuals that we love so much, one of the most wholesome species within the animal kingdom, also have a strong dislike for this man. Oh hey, a young couple, minding their own business having a conversation. Whoops, you just let Kaeya into your life. Like a sperm reaching an ovum, Kaeya has swam his way over to this couple's relationship. If you find yourself struggling within the spiral abyss, steer clear of this semen demon. Catapult yourself away from this gizzard wizard. A 4-year-old has more deltoid muscle mass than Kaeya. His arms are like angel hair pasta. The long head and lateral head of Kaeya's triceps are like a floppy disk frisbee of jello. Kaeya is the first being on this planet to have a concave ass. Mathematicians have been puzzled for years at the curvical nature of this man's cheeks. Curvature is not in Kaeya's vocabulary. According to mathematics, points where concavity changes between concave and convex points are inflection points. I hypothesize that Kaeya's bunghole is an inflection point. On your screen, you're looking at Kaeya's sad attempt at swimming to another island. Spoiler alert, it will never happen. Kaeya's biceps and external abdominal obliques are so tiny, he probably couldn't even kill a spider. Kaeya's motto that he lives and dies by is ejaculate first, ask questions later. What he does in 1 minute, Venti does in 2 seconds. If there's one thing Kaeya is useful for, it's being sent to the mines. Although his stench is probably not good for the environment, at least he is somewhat being useful to society, despite having such foul odor. Kaeya is one of the slimiest characters ever in gacha game history. His physique and overall cleanliness has stooped so low, I don't think it can ever be quantified. Kaeya is the worst character in Genshin Impact.